And here in Washington, we're joined now by Republican Senators John McCain and Lindsey Graham, who've spent a lot of time there. They are also just back from Afghanistan. Let me just start with this video we just saw of this child. State Department's put out a statement condemning the beating. They're demanding a full investigation. But is there anything the United States can do here, Senator McCain, to calm this situation?
Well, this is one case where I do believe that our Secretary of State should go to the region. This is a role. This is a place. Many places I don't think we do play a role. In this case, I think that our Secretary of State, Secretary Kerry, could go to the region and try to maybe do a little shuttle diplomacy. This thing is in danger of spiraling out of control. There's a whole lot of reasons for it, but right now this is a time where the United States could play a constructive role.
Senator Graham?
Well, when you start killing children, you set yourself on a path of it's hard to reverse, and I think a good idea to try to engage and get the parties back into their corners. But one thing about Israel, they will try to investigate, I think, and bring somebody to justice. The other side's not very good at that.
Let's get back to Iraq. What is your take, Senators, on this new video? Is ISIS now trying to scare us? Is the threat to the United States from ISIS growing? I guess those are the two questions I'd have to ask.
Well, according to the Director of National Intelligence, the FBI Director, and most of our intelligence community, ISIS presents a direct threat to the homeland in Syria, now Iraq. Americans and Western Europeans are going to help their cause, and they can flow back here. So yes, they're a direct threat to the homeland, and they're getting much stronger as we speak.
I think it's important to recognize that we did have this situation stabilized thanks to the surge, that we could have left a residual force behind which would have stabilized the situation. This is not like a hurricane or an earthquake. This didn't have to happen. This is a failure of United States policy. And by the way, there still is none that I can discern, either a policy or a strategy to handle this situation. This guy Baghdadi, when he left Camp Bucca, the prison camp that we ran, he said, "See you in New York." We now have the largest and richest enclave of radical terrorism in history that not only encompasses Iraq, as we know, but Iraq and Syria. So we have to look at this as a Syria-Iraq problem. And one of the things that we need to do, of course we want Maliki to be replaced, but we got to stop ISIS first. And that means that we're going to have to do airstrikes, and we need to step up our support for the Free Syrian Army that is really right now getting very badly beaten.
Just one thing, Senator. You say we left. The Iraqis would not sign the Status of Forces Agreement, which would have put troops under our control, under our legal control. Are you just saying we didn't try hard enough to get that agreement?
I'm saying that they were ready to sign. I'm saying that this administration, this president, didn't want to stay, and we were there in Baghdad and in Erbil when they agreed to do it. Now, we were actually there. And the President of the United States would never give them a number of troops and their mission that they wanted to leave behind. The words of General Dempsey in testimony before the Armed Services Committee, it cascaded down to 3,000 people. The President campaigned he was going to get us out, and the President is going to make the same mistake in Afghanistan unless he reverses that decision that he made. You're going to see the same result in Afghanistan. We just came back from there. They feel abandoned.
Senator, do you agree with that?
I think the big fear I have about what we're doing in Afghanistan is that we have great capability now. We can watch a part of the world that is a safe haven for terrorists. 13 years after 9/11, there are more safe havens, there are more terrorist groups with more weapons and more capabilities than before 9/11, and we're having less capability, less presence. If we get down to 1,000 troops by 2017 and dismantle our eyes and ears in Afghanistan and Pakistan, it will haunt us far worse than Iraq. The counterterrorism mission in Afghanistan is a frontline defense for the homeland, and it is being destroyed by this idea of leaving completely in 2017. Mr. President, reverse your course, keep our counterterrorism capabilities in effect to protect us here at home.
We're not advocating combat troops. We're advocating leaving sustaining capability to give them the capabilities that they don't have right now. By the way, one thing different from Iraq, there are two good men now who we hope will resolve their differences and we can get a president of Iraq. That will make a very big difference. Both Ghani and Abdullah are good people.
Bob,
So,
if I could just add,
yeah.
what we're doing on the counterterrorism side, which protects the homeland from Al-Qaeda, is not decimated. The groups operating in Pakistan and now Afghanistan are lethal. They're growing. We're about to shut down our ability to detect what they're up to and hit them before they hit us. This literally is insane given the way the world is falling apart.
Well, we'll talk about this al-Baghdadi, if that is who we saw in the film. And do either of you have any doubt that that's who that is?
I have no doubt. And remember, when he left Camp Bucca, the camp that we ran in Iraq, he said, "See you in New York." There's no doubt of what their ambitions are. They state it very clearly. They now have this large enclave, and they are succeeding. And that message is going around, not only around the Arab world, but they're recruiting Muslim extremists as we speak. They're very good at PR.
So we should go after him directly because he...
It's $10 million on his head. Of course we could, but that's not the point here. If Baghdadi goes, somebody else is going to take his place. It's the situation which we have allowed to deteriorate because we didn't leave troops behind, because of the decision on Syria. There's a long series of events that have taken place which have caused us to be where we are today. And it all goes back to American leadership.
The president is now asking for $500 million in aid for the rebels that are opposing Assad in Syria. Is that going to do it, or is that coming too late?
Not unless we take out Assad's air capability, these terrible barrel bombs, and also give them more weapons than we have them today. 3 years ago, fine. 2 years ago, when the president overruled his entire national security team's recommendation to provide weapons to these people, but now it's not enough, unfortunately.
Let me ask you about something closer to home, and that is this crisis building on our borders now, these children that are flooding across the borders. What should we do, Senator Graham, with these children?
Well, we have to send them back, because if you don't, you're going to incentivize people throughout that part of the world to keep sending their children here. About a third of the little girls are raped in the process of getting here. It's a humanitarian problem, but it's apart from immigration reform. This is a specific problem created by an impression that if you get to America, you can stay. We got to turn that impression around, send these children back to their homeland, and tell the countries in question, if you don't keep them and take care of them, we're going to cut all aid off.
Senator.
And if you want asylum, and if there's a reason for it, go to our consulate, go to our embassy. We'll beef up those capabilities. Don't come to the American border. This is I can't tell you how all this breaks my heart, because I still believe that comprehensive immigration reform, a major part of which was enforcing our border and reinforcing our border, and this obviously hurts that opportunity.
Well, I know both of you are for immigration reform. Some in your party are saying, let's call out the National Guard to reinforce the border.
Well, we've had National Guard troops on the border. The bill in the Senate doubled the size of the Border Patrol to 40,000. There'd be a Border Patrol agent every 1,000 feet. The Senate bill put sensors and technology in place we used in Iraq and Afghanistan. We can control our border. That's essential. In the bill, 90% operational control was required before anybody could move forward towards citizenship. There is a plan in place to control our border, but it won't happen until the president signs a law. If the president does this by himself, if he goes it alone, he's going to make it so much harder. This is the administration that designed Obamacare.
But the Congress won't do anything. The Congress has said they're not going to do anything about this. I would just like to ask both of you, how do you feel about being members of a body that won't act, and a party on a crisis like this?
We'll just continue the fight. We will continue the effort, a respectful effort, to convince our colleagues in the House that we need to move forward on this issue. But it doesn't help when the president says that he has a pen and he has a phone. But we'll continue to make that effort on the grounds of security of our border, as well as the fact that you cannot deport 11 million people. We need to address the issue.
Bob, there is a change in our party. I don't see how you could effectively win the presidency in 2016 if you adopt self-deportation as the Republican view toward immigration. Ted Cruz embraces legalization without a path to citizenship. Things are changing on our side. It makes it really hard to deal with a president who at every turn takes a law he doesn't like and unilaterally changes it. From the IRS to Obamacare, it has a cumulative effect. So there are people in the Republican Party who get it. But the president's making it very hard for us, those who do get it, to work with him, because he's unilaterally changed every law he doesn't like. Now he's putting immigration on the list.
Senator McCain, I have one question I can't let you get away without asking, because Hillary Clinton has said that you are her favorite Republican. And I just want to ask you, is she your favorite Democrat?
Actually, I hope this program is blacked out in Arizona. Please cut. No, look, I respect Secretary Senator Clinton. I respect her views. We have had disagreements on a number of issues, but I think it's my job to work with every president if she is, regrettably, if she attains the presidency. I worked with her in the Senate. I just worked with Senator Sanders on a Veterans Affairs bill. We've got to fix a VA. How do you do that? You've got to reach across the aisle and work together on certain issues. And I'm not only not embarrassed about that, I'm proud of it, and I respect Hillary Clinton. I may not agree with her.
All right. Well, thank you both. We're going to turn now